You may be thinking that this has happened before, and that's because it has. Here we have a Dell 2009w UltraSharp 20-inch monitor. Really nice monitor for the price. And here we have another one. I won this on eBay. It's a refurbished unit for £78 including postage. The winning bid was £68 and it was £10 postage. An identical monitor to this one. Dualscreen 20 inches, here we come. That is gonna be so awesome. This is the unboxing video of my brand new monitor, I guess for the second time. And I will show a quick clip of the setup, of a rough setup. I'm just literally gonna bung it on the desk. What we're gonna do in a few days when I've got some spare time, I've got a rehearsal for a massive show on this week. But when I get some spare time, I'm gonna take everything off of the desk and redo the whole thing. So I'm gonna stick you on the tripod. I know it's painful, but we're gonna have a little unboxing of this awesome monitor for an even more awesome price. So it's the evening. I've just come back from a rehearsal for a school show. It's the school that I used to go to before college, so it's quite emotional going back. It's very strange, but I'm enjoying overall. I've got performances all next week, so I won't be able to redo my desk for quite a while, but at least I'll be able to get set up pretty soon with this monitor. So it is evening lighting, so I do really apologise for that. The lighting is not going to be the best at all in this video. Okay, so you can see into the box pretty well there. There we go, that's a slightly better angle. So this is a refurbished unit. So we have the USB cable, because this has a built-in USB hub, brand new cable. We have our UK power cable, it's a standard IEC lead. Have our DVI connection. It looks like a really nice DVI cable, not too long, and it's also gold plated on the end there, really nice. And then this just leaves our VGA cable. So they give you all of the cables. Here is the legendary stand, which I love. For some strange reason, the stand is in a lot better condition than I was expecting, because it said that there were some fairly severe marks on the stand. The panel itself was refurbished, but there were marks on the stand, and to me that looks like a fairly brand new stand, so that's really good. I hope you can see at least some of what I'm doing. Evening light is not the best, so I'll remove that polystyrene. This is perfect packaging, absolutely perfect. Here we have the panel itself. I'll actually give you an into the box shot. Here we have the panel. You can see it's bubble wrapped nicely. It's identical to the one I already have. Let's take it out the bubble wrap. The light's just flickered. And place it down there. Looking good, screen looking decent. This part of the monitor does look used. Screen's looking decent. There are no dead pixels or anything like that. It said that in the description. Bit marky. It's not fingerprints. It's had a screen clean, but with one of those cleaners that leaves a residue. So I'll go over that with a nice screen cleaner. And according to the description, there were case marks on the monitor, but to be perfectly honest with you, I can't really see any faults in it at all. So I can have a quick check in the box. There's nothing left, so the only thing it was missing is the instruction manual. And let's face it, we don't need that anyway. So that's a lovely monitor. So we're just gonna pop the stand onto the monitor itself. You won't be able to see much of this, but I will take you on a tour around it as soon as I get it on. There we have it. One thing I love about these displays, the stand is really easy to use. Lovely. I'll take you off the tripod. And here you have it. My budget display of choice, the Dell 2009w. It has a 4-port USB hub. It's got full height adjustment, which is really nice, and also tilt adjustment. It's got a very good stand. This one's feeling perfect, just like my other one. It's DVI and VGA. It's got a resolution of 1680 by 1050. I think it's a 5 ms response time. So it's your average specs, really nice monitor, and I'm gonna plug it in right now. So I'll be with you in about 10 minutes after I've plugged this in, but it'll probably be straight in the next clip for you guys. Check that out, everyone. It looks more impressive in real life. I hope it'll come out well on the video. This is an extremely temporary setup which I haven't even finished yet. As you can see, the monitors aren't centered to the desk. You know, if I put the keyboard center, it's somewhere about there. So the monitors have to go one where the Mac Pro is and, you know, equal. They just, everything has to shift over slightly to make it even. But that's a temporary setup because I'm going to make a video. I'm going to take everything off of the desk. Need a few modifications, need a few holes drilled for various things. My printer cable, for instance. My printer's been out of action for ages. And I'm going to find a new place for the Mac Pro. Now this is going to be a challenge because I want it on the desktop. But measurements wise it fits here, but cables wise I don't know if there'll be enough space, so we'll have a bit of jiggery pokery, but all I know is it can't really stay there, not comfortably anyway. But that's the setup. That's how I'm going to use it for the next few days. The next video may or may not be the desk setup, but that's coming up very soon. I'm really looking forward to doing it. All I'm going to do now is quickly cut to an image on the display so you can see it. So, as the colours go extremely dodgy on my camera, here we have the two displays looking absolutely fantastic. Here's my main display, here's my secondary display, but I'm the kind of person that treats them as the same. Now, I explained this in my last video. You get people that use the setup like that. They have a main display there, and the secondary one that they drag random stuff onto. That's totally cool. I've used that workflow. I used it with my MacBook. It does work. But in my opinion, with big, nice, widescreen 20-inch monitors, if they're both the same, then I think that doing it this way, for me personally, for my own workflow, is a lot easier. If I had this display, and then had a little 15-inch 4x3 display, I would not use it like this. I'd have my main monitor and then a secondary one to just drag random stuff onto. But being as they're both identical, both the exact same resolution, then that's the way I like to use them. And of course, if I'm using them like that, I don't want one wallpaper on there. Sorry, voice is cracking up. I don't want one wallpaper on there and another on there. I want the same going across the two. One thing, you won't be able to tell this on the camera, maybe you will, maybe you won't. I need to color calibrate both of them with each other. This one seems slightly brighter, this is the new one, but this one does need hell of a good dust. And surprisingly enough, dusting your display makes one huge difference in brightness. It depends what kind of dust you have in your house. If you have anyone that smokes in your house, we don't. But if you have anyone that smokes in your house, and in this room in particular, then you'll get very sticky brown dust on the display. If you have a coal fire, which we do, luckily it's quite far away, you'll get black fine dust on the display, which is barely noticeable. Really hard to notice, but it's definitely there. And when I had lots of work going on in my house, the dust on my displays was sort of creamy wood colour, like this kind of colour. Well, the colours have gone dodgy on the camera, but anyway. Yeah, so I'll give that a good dust, and this is going to be a wicked setup. So like I said, extremely temporary. You can take a look at my multitasking. You can see I have my web browser over there. I can keep things like iChat conversations here and stuff like that. Absolutely fantastic. And then I've got email, Twitter, and iTunes down the bottom. Now, I'm going slightly insane because I've discovered that I would love 3. Web browser in the middle, email and Twitter on this one, and iTunes full on that one. I would love that setup. But hey, maybe something like that in the future. If I need the workflow of triple displays, then, you know, it's not a massive loss out of my pocket to get another one of these Dell displays, and they are really nice displays. People often have a go at me saying, you know, it hasn't got HDMI, it hasn't got 1080p. What I'd just like to say to that is, I'm afraid it's true that a lot of you are being completely fooled by advertising. 1080p is obviously full HD, as I get a text message. 1920 by 1080 is obviously a much better resolution than what I have. But if I had 1920, I would have to have it by 1200. That's how I have my workflow, 1920 by 1200, 16 by 10 display, not 16 by 9. I don't care for watching films on my computer. I care for having a nice big workspace. And 16 by 10 monitors for me is the way to go, and they're getting harder and harder to find because manufacturers are just throwing a 1080p resolution in there to please all the consumers. But anyway, enough said of that. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for what I just said, but anyway, that's my personal opinion on it, and this is the way I like to use my workflow. So that is basically that. Like I said, the video for the setup, the rearrangement, the next rearrangement and everything like that will be coming super soon, and I am very pleased with this setup. So thanks for watching this unboxing and dual screen setup, and I will see you in the next video.